Hello learners, welcome to my YouTube channel Learn Life Science. So this will be the second lecture on Lambda bacteriophage, in which I am going to discuss about the interaction of Lambda bacteriophage with its E. coli receptor LAMB-B. Or in simple terms, I am going to tell you regarding a general interaction of E. coli host cell with its infecting virus bacteriophage lambda. Okay. In the previous lecture, I have given a general outline regarding Lambda bacteriophage and its lytic and lysogenic switch, as well as about induction process. Okay, so let's get started. So any viral infections are initiated through a binding process which involves a specific interaction between the virus and the host cell surface. Okay, so this is a general sentence that we all know, that for any interaction to appear between different cells, the first thing that occurs is the interaction between these two different cells. For example, the interaction between the virus tail with the host cell membrane. Okay, the nature of initial virus host interaction greatly varies amongst different system and is mediated by various cell surface receptors, co-receptors and other molecules depending on the specific virus and host. Okay, so what he mentioned here is there should be a specific interaction, that is a specific receptor for a specific ligand. Okay, this is what we all learn in cell signaling. The best characterized feature of phage lambda biology is the genetic switch that decides whether a phage propagates by cell lysis or integrates into host genome to become a prophage. That means the first best characterized feature is that the lytic and as well as the lysogenic switch. Other well studied aspect of phage lambda biology is the adsorption of the phages, means how a particular phage adsorb or gets stuck to the outer surface of bacteria and subsequent DNA delivery into the host E. coli cell. Okay, so phage lambda uses the bacterial maltospore LAMB-B for delivery of its genome into the bacterial cell. So what we are going to learn here is, with the help of a receptor on E. coli membrane, phage lambda having a particular ligand gets stuck to the receptor, and when the signaling occurs by forming a particular channel, the phage injects its genetic material into the host cell. Okay. Now, early genetic experiments showed that most of the E. coli mutants resistant to lambda phage are located in two genetic regions, okay, which involves MAL-A and MAL-B, among which the MAL-B regions of the gene contain a small gene, that is LAMB-B, whose product LAMB-B proteins are involved in lambda receptor synthesis, a component of E. coli outer membrane. In simple word, what mentioned here is that E. coli outer surface consists of a receptor, that is LAMB-B receptor, which has been encoded by a gene, that is LAMB-B gene, present on MAL-B genetic region. Okay. Now, I have mentioned here a case study in which there is mentioned that mutant form of bacteriophage lambda can target alternative receptors. Okay, so in the previous slide I have told you that there is a specific interaction between ligand and receptor, and also remember that a receptor can target a ligand with its affinity. Okay, the affinity depends on the specific molecules that are present on the ligand. Okay, now for example, we are going to culture phage 6126, that is a lytic derivative of a phage, and with E. coli host cell. Okay, for example, you are doing an experiment in which you are undertaking lambda bacteriophage and you are culturing it with host cell E. coli. okay, but you are providing them two different conditions. The first condition will be in the presence of LAMB. What is LAMB here is? LAMB is the receptor that is present on the outer membrane of E. coli, and the second condition you are providing is the absence of LAMB on E. coli membrane. So the first thing that will occur in the presence of LAMB receptor on the E. coli surface is that if the receptor is present, the ligand from Lambda bacteriophage is going to bind, infect its or injects its DNA into the host cell, and lysis of E. coli is going to occur. But if you provide this, if you see at the second condition where the LAMB receptor is absent, the mutant phage change their specificity from LAMB to a new receptor, that is OMF, that is present on E. coli outer membrane. So what is mentioned here is, along with receptors like LAMB, there is also presence of other receptors, that is OMF. Okay, now you can see here OMF is acting as a porins. Now porins allow passage of hydrophilic solute up to a size limit which is determined by constriction of their channel. So this is a general definition regarding porins, which was involved in transport of molecules. And you can see here the examples involve LAMB, about which we were talking all about, OMF, an alternative receptor for Lambda bacteriophage, as well as OMC. So these all are the receptors that is having the ability to pass molecules by forming a channel. Okay, and the molecule we are considering here is the genetic material of Lambda bacteriophage. So in this slide there is mentioned only that E. coli is containing is having a receptor, LAMB receptor, which is encoded by a gene, that is LAMB gene, in the MALB genetic region. Okay, and Lambda bacteriophage is having a ligand in its tail, any kind of proteins in its tail, that is having the ability to interact with various alternative forms of receptors, and these interaction will be specific. For example, the receptors involve LAMB, OMF, OMC, which all are included in porins category. Now let's talk about LAMB protein. So as I have already told you, LAMB protein is a well characterized example of porine, which is termed as maltoporine, because it is required for growth on limiting concentration of maltose. So this is going to be an important point for you to remember, that it is a maltoprotein that is required for growth on limiting concentration of maltose. Okay, LAMB receptor for several phages, means the phages that is having the ability to interact with LAMB receptors include lambda, K10 as well as TP1. Okay, these are some examples of Lambda bacteriophages. Then LAMB is a trimeric proteins formed by anti-parallel beta sheets, which forms a wide channel. So the first thing I have told you, that it is a protein or it is a porine that forms a channel to pass the genetic material. But how the channel is formed? There is the presence of 3 subunits or trimeric proteins. Each subunit is composed of anti-parallel beta barrel. As you can see here, this is 1, this is 2, as well as this one is 3rd. Okay, this is the side view of the LAMB receptor. This is the above view. Okay, here you can see the trimeric proteins form a channels through which the genetic material can be injected. In the last picture I have mentioned here is, you can see here the green regions surrounding the E. coli cell is the LAMB receptors. Okay, so you can see how widely the receptors are present all around the outer membrane of E. coli. Now the question arises, how lambda phage utilizes the LAMB receptor to inject its DNA into the host cell. So The phage lambda tail consists of a hollow tube that consists of 32 stacked discs, where each disc is formed by 6 subunits of major tail protein, that is GPV, which is arranged such that each disc has a central hole. Phage lambda uses this channel to inject its DNA. Okay. Until now I have told you about the Lamb receptor, but now we are discussing on the ligand, or about the molecules that are present in lambda bacteriophage that are involved in formation of channels or formation of collar or tail. So you can see here in the picture the head region of bacteriophage and the tail region of bacteriophage. This tail region consists of 32 stacked discs. Okay, and each 32 stacked disc consists of 6 subunits. Okay, and these 6 subunits are aligned in such a way that they forms a central core. Okay, a central core is important, as you can imagine easily that if a central core is formed, then DNA can easily get injected into the host cell. And the major protein I have told you in these subunits is GPV. Okay. Now genetic evidence also indicates that GPJ, this is another protein that directly interacts with the outer membrane protein LAMB during the attachment of bacteriophage to the surface of cells. GPJ or J protein present near the end of tail fiber binds with the LAMB and form complex. So what mentioned here is, at the end of tail of lambda bacteriophage there is presence of another protein, that is GPJ protein. Okay, so this is the protein that is involved in interaction with the LAMB receptor or OMP-F or OMP-C receptor present on the outer membrane of E. coli. So don't get confused with the proteins. Always remember that V protein is present on the stacked region of the tail, as well as the J protein is involved in the interaction with the receptor on E. coli. Okay. So I have tried to explain it or to give you a diagrammatic representation for easy understanding, in which I have mentioned a linear double stranded DNA that is present in lambda bacteriophage, and in the previous lecture I have already told you that the circularization of genetic material occurs only when the DNA gets injected into the host cell. Okay, so this is the stacked region, 32 stacked region, each 32 stacked disc, each composed of 6 subunits containing GPV protein. Okay, and in the tail fiber you can see there is presence of GPJ protein, which acts as a ligand for the LAMB receptor that is present on outer membrane. Okay, so as we all know, E. coli is a gram negative bacteria. So this is the representation of or outline of the outer membrane of bacteria, which consists of also peptidoglycan thin layer, periplasmic space, as well as the plasma membrane. So this picture will be enough for you to memorize that it consists that the bacteriophage forms channel with the help of its tail, and the E. coli membrane forms channels or porin with the help of LAMB receptor that directly injects the DNA into the cytosol of E. coli. So I hope you understood about this interaction between lambda bacteriophage and E. coli. In the next video or lecture 3, I am going to discuss about the genomic map of lambda bacteriophage, as well as how the various genes are involved in lytic and lysogenic switch. So if you understood, then please like and subscribe, and also share with your friends. Thank you so much.